But my question, as I am trying to work without the capo, comes back to the F chord. I know you said that you have some carpal tunnel issues, so I don't want you to hurt yourself, but are there any
Thank you.
exercises that will help towards getting that bar with the single finger? Like I find as I work on the F chord, if I press with my index and my middle, I can get all six strings pressed, but I need that second finger to go down on the third string.
Yes.
So like what I find I'm having trouble with is if I have enough pressure on the first string for it to play, then the second string is faint. And if I
Yep.
press down harder with the second string, then it comes up on the sixth string. If I have enough on the sixth string, the second string is faint, and vice versa.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, you're trying to uh, distribute the pressure of your first finger over three different strings. And if you press on one to get it to sound good, it steals pressure from the other strings and they're damped. Is
Yeah,
that
and
right?
so I'm experimenting with moving my finger up and down along the board to try and figure
Mm-hmm.
out, where I have the most bone pressing and the least amount of fat, and where I can get my finger
Great.
straighter. But I
Great.
just want to know if there's any exercises or tips as I pursue my quest towards the F chord.
Totally. Totally. Um, yes. The caterpillar exercise is a great general exercise. Okay. Beyond that, I think practicing on uh, an easier bar chord is a good stepping stone, and practicing it in easier spots on the neck. There are two big things going against you with the F chord. One is that with the F chord, you have to bar three strings, and they're on opposite sides of the fretboard, right? And hopefully you're arching over those strings that you don't need to press. You still be touching them, but you're not giving them your full force. You obviously are aware of that. But just for the general population here, you want to be doing that. But even so, it's hard to get all three of those strings to fret. You're also close to the nut, and just because of physics, because of leverage, it's a little harder to press down the strings close to the nut than it is a little farther up the neck. Farther up the neck, you have higher action, however, and so that can, depending on how high your action is, some of the benefit of going higher up the neck could be mitigated um, uh, uh, by the fact that you have higher action. One way to kind of get rid of the nut problem without having higher action is to use a capo. So I have a couple questions for you, Nicole. First of all, can you get a B minor bar chord to sound good?
I think so. Me.
Nice. I hear your root note. I hear the first string. Have you tried barring an F when you have a capo on, say, like the first or second fret?
I did earlier today. I tried it further up because on the fourth I was capoed at the fourth fret,
Okay.
and actually that's if I can demonstrate, that's exactly where I'm having trouble. Like I'm working on I mentioned this some months ago. Don't think twice, it's all right.
Yep.
And I'm trying to learn a Travis picking pattern,
Yep.
and it's the F chord that is killing me because the pattern on the video that I'm working off of, he does the sixth string in the second,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, see here, like here I'm pressing as hard as I can on that sixth string. Oops, let me get my finger out of the way. But then when I get down to the fifth or the second string, you can hear I'm
Yeah.
not getting enough uh, pressure on it,
Yep.
and I'm not
Yep.
sure what to do.
Yep. You and like a bazillion other guitarists.
That's comforting.
You're in good company. Yeah, first of all, just really briefly, just to help you with that song, do you have the option of wrapping your thumb around to fret the sixth
My
string?
hands are too small.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Like I wrap my thumb around when I'm doing the C to mute that sixth string, but like for something that takes a lot of pressure, like the F chord, I can't. I
Yeah.
wish.
I get it. Can you aim your camera at your hand or
Yeah.
yeah, or like boost up the guitar a little bit so I can see
There
you
you go.
fret the F?
Actually, let
Cool.
me turn on, if you can wait 1 sec, let me turn on a light as well, because I know it's dark
Great.
in here.
Sure.
I'll move it over so we have a little bit more light coming in from the front.
Good.
That's better, I think. Yeah. All right.
Awesome. Oh, beautiful. I can
So,
see clearly.
great. The rain
Okay,
is gone.
give it a go.
All right. So there I'm pressing. Actually, let me do it individually picked.
Yeah, good. Can you see your first finger there? Can you see how close your first finger, the knuckle that you want to have pressing into the first and second strings? Can you see how close it is to the high wire, the fret wire that you want it to be close to?
I think so, yeah?
Is there any space there?
Wait, well, I'm sorry, explain that again. I don't quite understand what you mean.
Yeah, let me use my camera here for a second to demonstrate what I'm looking for. Okay. Let me get capoed up. Wait, which capo position are you?
I'm in fourth.
Cool.
Fourth fret.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So, check out my first finger.
Okay.
I'm looking at like this area of my finger
Uh-huh.
and seeing how close I'm fretting to this fret wire right
Oh,
here.
okay. All right.
And so I saw a couple things, Nicole, that let me just call attention to a couple things I was looking at as you were grabbing the chord that might be helpful for you.
Okay.
The first time you grabbed the chord, you plopped your finger down like this and tried the chord. And what I was thinking immediately is like, oh, she's not doing the shove the chub of her finger to the side trick. Okay? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Second time you tried it, you did use the trick, it looked like.
Yeah.
Where you repositioned your finger, you put it down on the fretboard, and then watch my first finger for everyone else who doesn't know this trick. What you do is you put your finger down and then you push it back toward the headstock of your guitar, rolling your finger over to the side, getting the flabby underbelly of your finger, we all have one, off to the side and cranking the granite-like bony side of our finger into the strings, which are much better at fretting the strings than the chubby under part of our finger. Now, Nicole, one other thing that it was hard for me to see if you were doing or not, but let me just explain it and then you can tell me if you're doing it. One potential mistake you can make in using this technique is putting your first finger down where you're gonna want it once you use the shove the chub to the side trick. I need to come up with a better name for that. So that once you shove the finger to the side, now you're like in the middle of the fret. You're far away from your fret wire. And as we all know, hopefully, you want to be as close as you can to the fret wire when you fret a note, because it takes less pressure to get the note to ring there. This is especially important if you're trying to bar these tough bar chords like an F chord. And so what you want to do is plan out where you want your finger to end up by putting your first finger right on top of the fret wire, then shove it to the side so that once you've done that, it has now rolled off the fret wire and come to rest right next to the fret wire, almost too much on top of the fret wire, but not quite. Did you already know that trick, Nicole?
No, that's a great trick. I love that trick.
Okay, cool. It's not going to solve all your problems. The F is brutal. I still try to avoid it whenever I can. I don't have carpal tunnel, but I've got like spine issues that radiate down into my arms, neck nerve issues and stuff from repetitive stress and working too much at the computer and scoliosis and all that. And so I'm always trying to be easy on my body. And using the thumb trick, which is, for those of you who don't know, wrapping your thumb around the top to grab the sixth string, is viable for people who have hands that are big enough. Nicole, short of getting a guitar with a narrower neck, you're gonna need to work on that bar. One thing to remember when you're playing fingerstyle is you can sacrifice strings that you're not picking. I mean, are you hitting the first string in that picking pattern?
And I think I'm gonna cheat and hit the first string. Like he does the sixth and the second, but because it
Oh,
sounds better when I hit the first, like I'm more able to hit the first with that F. I
okay.
think I'm gonna. I mean, it's not cheating. It's the Travis pick. I know. I like you have flexibility,
Yeah.
um, but because I'm trying to learn it first as he's doing it, and because the bar F chord is something I'm gonna have to know at some point.
Uh-huh.
I was trying, looking for tips, and these are
Cool.
helpful. How much
Cool.
pressure is there in your thumb when you're doing it? Because that's the other thing. When I do the F chord, I'm always concerned that I'm doing something wrong because, man, it's taken a lot of thumb strength for me on the
Yep.
other side of the neck. And if that's
Yep.
normal, that's great. But
It's a lot.
okay,
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
And
because when you're not 25, you start to be like, is this how it's supposed to feel, or is this my old muscles getting injured and I'm not aware of it? It's
totally.
always trying to work out that line.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. And I applaud you for troubleshooting this, being careful with your body, listening to your body, and being flexible. If it's just not working, well, let's look at what the picking pattern sounds like if I hit the first string. And, these decisions that we make, if we persist and troubleshoot and find alternatives, often they shape our sound in really cool ways. Joni Mitchell had childhood polio and figured out that she could only play her guitar comfortably and get the sounds she wanted by using alternate tunings, and created this whole sound for herself, this whole way of playing guitar that is her own and that I've studied and enjoyed immensely. And it was because of this disability that she had early on. And so I think she's a great role model for us all, being flexible and to find a way to make our music, the way we play music, match our bodies. Hey, I hope you liked this lesson. If you did, please click the like button. You can also subscribe to my channel. And if you really want the good stuff, become a member of Heartwood Guitar. You can click the link below to learn more. Hope to see you there. Take care.